Today in Animal Hospital, I'm going to be testing out 20 of the craziest myths, from ones that glitch your game to others that can save your life.
Oh no, it doesn't work!
So let's get into it. And we are finally in the game, and we can test out our first myth that you can throw patients away. So all we have to do is take out our gun and... Oh, I shot him. I'm so sorry, buddy. But apparently, if you hold E and carry the patient, you can then throw him in one of these bins. So let's see, does it work? And oh my goodness, we just threw him away. What? And if you thought that was brutal, don't worry, because it's only gonna get worse. So the next myth we're gonna be testing is that you can take 3 sips of coffee. So I've never known how many sips of coffee you can take, but apparently it's only 3, and I should always save the last one. So let's just test this one out real quick. So we have 1 sip, 2 sip, and wait, we still have the coffee, which means we do get 3 sips. But I'm gonna save this coffee for now, but apparently I'm gonna need this coffee for another myth that's coming up soon. But before we get there, we have to check these patients out first. Let's go ahead and take this picture and get these patients healed. Which takes us into myth number 3, that the wrong medication kills anomalies. So as we probably know, if you give a patient the wrong medicine, it, kills him. However, if they're an anomaly, you get to check in the patient and kill him just by giving him the wrong medication. So let's just go ahead and test this myth out. So we'll have to quickly test myth number 3 because myth number 4 just walked in the door. So let's see what medicine he'll take, and then we'll intentionally give him the wrong one. So he needs cough syrup. So you know what? We're gonna give him ointment. Let's see. Oh, someone died in room 3, but they were an anomaly. So guess what? It didn't count as a real death. But we can't talk about that for too long because we have myth number 4 right in front of us. And that is, the Headbanger will take any coffee. So as you guys know previously, we drank 2 sips of this coffee already, so it should be on the last sip. But regardless, we can give it to the Headbanger, and if the myth is real, it'll just take it and leave. Yeah, he just walked out. And before we go on ahead to the next myth, let's just go ahead and take out the trash. Boom! Right in the face. And for some reason, while doing this myth challenge, I keep getting anomalies over and over again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and check this guy in because I need this round to be over, bro. And now the shop is open. Look at that. Now for one of the craziest challenges, I'm gonna need to use this taser, but I still don't have enough money yet. So I'll have to lock in order to make enough money. And the patient has just run in on fire, which leads us to test our next myth. Apparently, if you hold down the fire extinguisher all the way down past 0%, you can use it infinite. So let's just hold it down. We're just gonna check him in while we're using this fire extinguisher, because the business has to keep going. Wait, the fire extinguisher is almost down, and oh no, this myth was fake. You cannot use it past 0%. But I see another anomaly here. We're gonna go ahead and check him in because we still need anomalies for our next myth. And hopefully there's gonna be something in his room that we can test the myth on. Wait, what is happening? Wait, what? Kind of confused what's going on here. I'm not quite sure. This isn't really a myth. He's just like standing here and he did like an animation. What was that? Is he gonna like transform? Oh, he did transform. I knew it. He did transform. And now that we checked this anomaly in, we now have another myth to bust, which is maple syrup can feed the bed monster. Now, as you guys know, the bed monster pulls you under the bed, but apparently, if you're holding maple syrup, it'll take the maple syrup instead. So 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, it does. The monster takes your maple syrup and lets you go. Another myth busted. And wait, we finally got a patient in room number 8, which takes us to our next myth. Now, in order to do the next myth, we first have to treat this patient first on the surgery table. So let's quickly do the surgery, give him a med kit, a scalpel, and a bandage, a heart or an organ. And the next myth is that you can do any of these in any order. So obviously we have 2 antibiotics, so that doesn't really work. Let's go ahead and test the medicine, and oh, it works. You can do it in any order. Boom and boom. So that myth is successfully busted. The next myth, since we just had a patient come in, is that shooting a patient puts out the fire. Let's see. 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh wait, so he's just fainted, but he's not on fire anymore. Wait, he's still on fire. Wait, hold on. If I place him down, is he still on fire? Wait, he's still on fire. Oh wait, it doesn't work. Oh wow, okay, so that doesn't work. But for the next myth we want to test, we have to wait for, I think, shift number 4 or 5 so we can get the taser. So we're gonna have to just check in patients until that time happens. Let's go ahead and check Ron in and these other patients. I heard another kind of myth as well, which can technically be called a myth, is that these patients sitting on the chairs can be used to get extra money during the rounds. So essentially, if I shoot them, carry them over to the beds, it counts as me helping a patient out. So I think I get paid for that. And let's see. Well, I mean, look, it allows me to check them out, so I'm pretty sure this works. And since there's slime on the floor, we're now able to test the next myth, that the fire extinguisher puts out the slime on the floor. So let's see if this actually works. Yo, that worked. That was a successful test. That's gonna be really helpful because, you know, slime slows you down. You know what, buddy? I'm gonna check you in and I'm gonna get you some help, okay? Because you look really normal. Go ahead and check this guy in. You ready? You ready to go, boy? You ready to go? And goodbye. You're dead. All right, let's go ahead and check these patients out so we can go ahead and get the taser from the wall. That's gonna be a really, really fun test to do. Maple syrup and ointment. And if you guys like videos like these, make sure to subscribe because I have a ton of ideas coming out. So he is now fixed. Now let's go to number 7, which allows us to test another myth. Now, using this machine is like a heart monitor. And the myth is that if you click the skull, the patient dies. And I haven't really done this before, so it's gonna be an interesting test. So let's see. If I click the skull, oh wait, the patient doesn't die. The meter just goes down. And complete. Okay, and as I was stepping into the surgery room, I noticed something on the ceiling, which allows us to test our next myth, which is that the eye monster can be killed with eye drops. Let's just go ahead and grab some eye drops and see. So we're not gonna look up, and we're gonna look up right. Wait, I'm losing? But oh wait, it works! So once you look up, you start taking a ton of damage, but after you hit the eye monster with eye drops, you can now look up freely at the eye monster until it disappears. But let's go ahead and complete this surgery. Scalpel, organ, antibiotics, and boom, he is all done with surgery. Let's go. Now, the next myth I wanted to test deals with the x-ray, and that's if you get the x-ray wrong 3 times in a row, the patient dies. So let's see, x-ray begin. It wants you to copy the sequence, but we're gonna get it wrong on purpose. It says to start with green when we're gonna start with yellow. Boom, wrong 1 time, okay. Boom, wrong 2 times. Oh wait, and the patient is still alive. Let's go. And the x-ray still worked perfectly fine. And just as an FYI, this isn't a myth, but the secret agent class in the game is probably the best class to buy because you spawn in with a gun and you don't feel as scared because you can just shoot things now. So this is definitely like the best class, I would say, overall, because it allows you to stay alive a lot longer. And boom, so we should be on shift number 4 now. The doctor is arriving, and I'm not sure if we're gonna get the taser this round or the next round. But after we get the taser, we'll be able to test the next myth. Use the photo and camera. Wait, are you gonna give us the taser, doctor? Oh, let's go. I will unlock the taser. Let's go. And this is the next myth, that you can tase the doctor. Let's see, in 3, 2, 1. You can't tase the doctor? No! Oh my god, I thought you could tase him. As I was walking, I ran into the perfect myth to test next, the smiling wall thing. Because apparently, if you hold a bandage and you put it over that thing's mouth, it doesn't attack you. So we're gonna test that out right now, and I'm glad he's just standing there. Does it work? Does it work? Oh no, it doesn't work! Oh wait, it did work. Your bandage was stolen by the entity. I don't think any of my sanity went down. So wait, did that myth work? Hold on, I didn't know that. Oh, we have another crazy looking anomaly coming in. I'm just gonna go ahead and check you in as well, buddy, even though you look terrifying. When you think about how many people we've shot so far and we still have 11 bullets on my gun, you start to realize buying the secret agent class is a cheat code, a really big cheat code. But low-key, I could test another myth out, but I didn't want to kill this guy if it doesn't work. But the myth apparently was that if you shoot people laying down, they don't die, they just faint, and you have to re-put them on the bed. But if I get this wrong, I kill a patient. So is it worth the test? That's a trick question. Of course it's worth the test. We're gonna shoot this guy in 3, 2, 1. Oh, we actually killed him. Okay, that actually killed that guy. Never mind. So this is technically another myth that any type of skinwalker you heal automatically turns into a monster, or the other way around, every monster you heal turns into a skinwalker. Now, I'm not sure if that's necessarily true. So if he gets up and turns into a skinwalker, that'll decide. And he does that as I'm talking. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put him down right there. And you know what? Maybe that myth had some merit to it. Oh wait, a ritual started in room number 5, which is exactly the next myth I wanted to test. So apparently you can put out rituals using a coffee. So if you usually put them out without a coffee, you lose sanity. But if you pick up a coffee and you extinguish them with the coffee, you don't take any sanity damage, and you can just do it infinite amount of times, which is absolutely insane. And after you're done extinguishing the ritual, it just takes your coffee, no matter how many sips you've taken of it. That's crazy. Which takes us right to our next myth, which is Rathu. Now, apparently this little guy right here, to some people looks like an anomaly, because when you look on the cameras, you can still see him looking at you. However, he never attacks you. And it's a myth that he's an anomaly because he's just a strange little guy. He never really attacks you or does anything to harm you. He just looks at you weird, and he looks like an anomaly a little bit. However, Rathu is completely harmless, and he will never ever attack you. Let's just go ahead and check out the rest of these patients, because the next myth I want to test should be running into the hospital pretty soon. The doctor is arriving. There it is. This is the next myth that's coming up that I want to test, which is ambulance patients coming in cannot be anomalies. The ambulance is pulling up, and any anomalies coming off? Normal, normal. He's on fire, normal, and normal. Okay, wait, so all of the patients coming off the ambulance are normal patients. Okay, maybe they were right. All right, one guy's on fire. Let's go ahead and put this guy out. Okay, he's good. There is one critical in surgery, I believe, so we're gonna go ahead and check out this guy. And I wanted to test another myth that shooting a healed patient just results in them fainting and you can't kill them. For instance, after I heal up this guy and he leaves out, if I shoot him, he won't die. He'll just faint and he'll come back in the hospital, which is what the myth says. So we're gonna test it out. All right, this is a healed patient. We're gonna see if this kills him or if he just faints. 3, 2, 1. He just faints. Okay, so you actually can't. Wait, what? He fainted and disappeared. He just he fell into the void. Wait, so you can't kill patients you just healed? Or did he just glitch? Because he's technically still in room number 3, but he just glitched out into the void. Matter of fact, let's test it out with number 4. Let's test it out with this guy. Does he faint and I can pick him back up, or will he fall into the void? 3, 2, 1, boom. He faints. Wait, am I glitching the game? Wait, no, 3 disappeared as well. So I think eventually they just disappear, right? But they still count as being checked out. Wait, this is a weird myth, and I'm honestly not sure what's the answer. But technically it doesn't say that I killed them, so I'm a little confused. But this time I want to test it as he gets out of bed instead of in the hallway. Let's go ahead and test this. Let's see. Wait, he faints? And he disappears. Wait. And then number 4 disappears, and now 2 is here again. This is so strange. So yeah, I guess that other myth is just gonna be unsolved because they just kind of faded into the void. But yeah, on that note, we're gonna be done testing tips here. I mean, we did a lot of tips. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that little tip testing video. Please make sure to subscribe and tell me what you guys think below in the comments. If you like it, I'll go ahead and make a new one. If not, definitely let me know below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.